Okay, Akemi, Hajimemashite.
Hi, はじめまして。
How are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm good. I watched the short film when I was a human last night. I'm gonna tell you, I was both heartwarming, but it was also really funny. There were scenes in the film where I was just laughing so hard,
Oh yeah?
and I really liked it because especially with the when Indy turned human, and the dog tells him how he could turn back into a dog. That part just had me rolling. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for that.
But I really like the short film, and I'm glad that you're gonna try to make it as a feature film because I could definitely see it going that route. So my first question is, how'd you come up with the idea for this?
Actually, I had a dog named Indy. So that dog is he didn't look anything like him because he was a part German Shepherd, but he was rescued and he had like separation anxiety and every time like I left for work I felt really bad and like every night I come back I play with him and like I wonder what he's thinking now. I wonder what he's thinking of me like every time I leave. Then I don't know, it's just kind of like a developed from there. It's just like love and I don't know. I just like love dogs. They make me feel good and they teach me things. I wanted to, and everybody loves dogs, right? So
Yeah, I got two Great Danes myself, so I
how do you?
yeah,
That's awesome.
and they're like the one of them every time I come home, she always is always on me, and then like she'll like look, she's always like I don't know if she doesn't suffer from separation anxiety that much. She only does if both my wife and I are out of the house, and that's when and she we have to keep her at home. That's the only time she really like gets all anxious and starts.
Right.
But by
They're
the time
like
we get
children, aren't they?
yeah, so by the time we get home, she's all like excited again to see us. I'm like,
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
yeah. But I like that concept because in a way, it's like the dog felt like only one kind of love. Like he only thought love meant one thing. That's the message I got. But I like the fact that the dog realizes love can mean so many different things. That's the message I saw with the film. And the performances were great. Daniel and oh God, who's the actress? I forgot her name, but
Marissa?
yeah, Marissa, they were great in the roles. And
Oh yeah, they're
like
incredible.
what was it like
Yeah.
working with them?
Yeah, actually, since then, Daniel's, I think, doing acting, but like, life happened to them. So they took a different path away from entertainment business. And a lot of people who worked on the short film, really, it's a difficult industry to stay in and sustain actual living. So many of them left. So I'm like the survivor of
Yeah,
all the crew members.
there you go. So what's the plan for the feature film? What's going on with that as of right now?
Oh yeah, it's pretty exciting. We just launched this equity crowdfunding. It's a little bit different from Kickstarters and Indiegogo, but it's basically you buy a stake in the film. So we started the campaign a few days ago, and it's live right now on WeFunder.
Yep, that's awesome. I'll make sure that goes in the description so people can take a look, and if they find it interesting, they can go ahead and donate and get this. We'll get this on the ground. And I noticed some names that were chosen in this. Danny Trejo, absolute legend.
Yeah.
Becca De Mornay. I know Adam Aikenbuch from Fuller House. He's really funny. Um, so how would they get involved in the film in terms of like who would they be? Do you know who they would be cast as? Like right away,
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah, we can totally share. It's really incredible. When they came on, we literally didn't have much going on except for the script. And we had like really good casting director, uh, Pat McCorkle. She helped us a lot, but they just came on board pretty much solely based on the screenplay that I wrote, and that was such an honor. Especially Danny is a big rescue dog advocates, and that, you know, like having him, actually he's gonna play Spike and
Oh,
yeah, in the feature
yes,
film,
I knew
actually,
it.
we used the bulldog for the short film, but the feature film, we're gonna use pit bull mix. There's so many pit bull mix out there, and you know, they have a bad reps,
They do.
and it's so unfair because like my last dog, Butters, she passed in February, unfortunately. It was like a devastating, but anyway, she was a pit bull mix, and she had such a, like, you know, dirty look sometimes. I mean, these people don't know anything about my dog. She was such a sweet one, but like they just look at them and they see a little bit of pit bull in them and they totally write them off. It's like a prejudice,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it's just like children, just like human. It's like the depends on like how you're raised, you know, circumstance, you know, how you send the vibes out and how they perceive you. It's just all based on interaction and, you know, learned behavior. And like I think breed has like, you know, maybe tiny bit to do with it, but like I think they have such a bad rep, and I really wanted to address that because it's like racism almost,
It is. Yeah,
you
exactly.
know. And I think that kind of like, you know, human behavior like racism, you know, manifesting like, you know, prejudicing people too, or something that looks different, something that looks fierce, you know. And Danny Trejo, as scary as he looks, he's such a sweet guy,
Yeah, he's like the nicest guy on the face of the earth,
right?
and he just loves work and he loves acting, and that's why he does so many of these different things.
Yeah,
He
and
just
he
loves doing
gives
it.
back to communities, and you know, it's just like that. You know, don't write off, you know, somebody just because how they look. It's just, you know, don't judge book by its cover. You know, that's like a major theme that my movie has.
Yeah,
So like, you know, Danny is gonna be a great asset for a film.
definitely. And then you also got Rebecca De Mornay, and you know, who is she? Is she gonna be like? Is she gonna be the next door neighbor? I'm
Yeah.
guessing she gonna be.
she's gonna be she's gonna be Mrs. Peacock.
Oh my god! And
I know.
I'm gonna take a wild guess right here because I see it. I'm guessing Adam Hagenbuch is gonna play Indy in human form. Is that, or is he playing
Actually,
Craig?
no.
Is he playing Craig?
Uh-uh.
Oh, he's
Adam
playing something. This is a new character.
Adam's gonna play Jared.
Oh, okay.
Jared. Oh, that's right. You don't know this. Yeah, Jared is sort of like you know, part Craig, you know, part the new guy. So
Okay.
like you remember how Craig was in the short film. You
Yeah.
know, he was a sweet guy, but he kind of didn't understand where Kimi was coming from and,
Yeah,
you know, how
exactly.
much Indy meant to her. So like this Jared character is just like a bad part of like a Craig. He's like,
Oh,
yeah,
you care
uh,
less.
yeah. Kimi meets Jared, and he's a rock star in the local band. And you know,
Okay, I can see that. I could
actually, this is loosely based on my story.
really.
I used to have like this like a thing for like rockers. I was in the band, and I used to date musicians all the time, all kinds of wrong people, right? So Jared is like a womanizer. He's a very good looking guy. He's a charming guy. So like, you know, Kimi falls for him, but Indy knows. Indy smells something
Oh,
ain't
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
something
so like,
bad.
oh yeah. So he tries to like, you know, communicate with Kimi, but like of course she's like, you know, don't bother me. You know, she's busy with like a new boyfriend, right? So
Yeah.
Indy's just like devastated. So the rest is like a kind of similar to the short film's plot, but yeah, he's a baddie.
Yeah.
Adam's gonna play Betty. It's gonna be great because he's got this like great comedic timing.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you see
Yeah,
him in
kind of
Fuller
like a
House, I mean,
that's
he and he kind of resembles and I've said this, he kind of looks like Ashton Kutcher. He has that,
he does,
he
right?
looks like he could be his brother
I
but he
know.
has that, but seeing him on Fuller House, he has that comic timing. It worked perfectly with especially his interactions with Stephanie and Kimmy, because he's Kimmy's brother on the show. And it's just like it was perfect. I'm like, I was like, I'm hoping I see him something else soon, because he was really good. And now we might get that chance with this movie.
Yeah, hopefully, that's another thing like I wanna like a do like I feel very grateful these actors who are already making it come on board, on my such a small film. But like I'm like hoping this movie is gonna be their next bigger platform because this movie is gonna go out to the world, not only domestic.
Yeah.
Because like me coming from Japan, like I have ties in that territory, and like my producing partner has quite a bit of connections in distribution world as well. So it's like once it's made, sky's the limit. But we can talk all about the product, but like we need a product made, right?
Right.
That's where like I need everybody's help. Just come to WeFunder and just like help us out. I mean, we're gonna make them proud. We're gonna make you guys proud, and this is going to be a very good product. Like everybody can enjoy, and I think really I want to change the world for better. It's like a huge ambition, but something, because movie changed my world, my life. So like, if this movie can touch people in any small way, just make them feel better, or like, make them think about being kinder, that's like my job done. That's my aim.
Exactly. Now you said you grew up in Japan. Like who and movies changed your life. Who did you grow up watching? Who were some of your on-screen heroes?
Definitely those Star Wars. I was a little bit of a tomboy, but there's a pretty serious story behind it. I was like really sick, like growing up. I was in seventh grade,
Mhm.
and I almost like I didn't have enough days at school, so I was failing that particular year because I was that sick. I couldn't go to school. So I was so depressed and sad, and me being like only in seventh grade, it's like you should be full of life, right? Got so
Right.
many things to do. I thought like my life was ending, because I was so sick. But then one day, Star Wars opened in Japan, and I saw the TV trailer, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just like it grabbed me. Something about like maybe simplicity too. So like a bad against good, good against bad, and good wins in the end. And
Yeah.
all these like a cool space fighters, and you know cool fighter jets, and the robots and creatures. It's just like it took me out from this miserable life being sick, and that really like ignited something inside, and gave me like an energy, like I gotta get better, and I want to go to the country this movie was made. I didn't know like much about America. I was only seventh grader, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't speak English, but like I wanted to learn the language that the characters spoke in the movie. So, I started to study English, and, the rest was a history. Just I got better, like, took a while, like a year or so. But then, yeah, Star Wars really cured me, and guided me, directed me to here. Like right now in America, I mean, from small town in Tokyo, it's pretty incredible. The movie is so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I grew up watching like martial arts movies, and I used to watch like the old Chinese kung fu movies but then I also started watching the Japanese ones, like from Sunny Chiba and
Oh, Sonichiba,
and
I worked with him.
Hiroyuki Sanada, when he was younger, of course he's big now in Hollywood, but we're talking way back when he was, they would change, like he was known as Henry Sanada in the US or Duke or whatever it was. And, I used to watch those. I grew up watching that. And then, that's when it really livened me up. And I'm like, well, what should I do? I don't know if I want to be an actor, but I'm like, you know what? I should write about this stuff. I should write about like my opinions on films or, start reviewing them. So, now I'm like in my mid 40s and I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I've been doing it for over 20 years now, writing about films since college. And, and I got my degree in film studies. So it really, that helped as well. So,
Yeah. It's like we are like, film geeks, like you and I. And it's like it's so fantastic. I feel grateful every day that I made my something I like to do, something I like to watch as my profession. It's like I go to work happy every day. Of course there are like a lot of challenges, but there are a lot of like people who don't know what they want to do, and they just go to office every day and wondering what if, but like I'm doing it, no matter what happens, in the end, I feel happy, with everything that I've done. That's the way I want to be.
yeah.
And my dad kind of sort of taught me in a way to be this way.
Yeah, I mean, I got a day job too. I work in a library, but I love doing it. And it's not just the quiet. It's not, and these days, the library I work in is not so quiet. But uh, no, it's not like your quiet library where it's like, shh. No, this is one where everyone's all comfortable. It's casual, and
That's neat.
yeah, and during that, I get to do my film stuff here because my boss is like all supportive of it. He's all like, "So, he goes, did you interview anyone recently? Did you watch any new movies? I want to know. I want to know." So like,
That's so cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool at that. So and then of course we have like our film collection, and then I'm in charge of that. So I was like that helps as well. So yeah, so
Where
I know
are
exactly.
you, Albert? Are you in New York or?
I'm in Florida. I'm originally from New York though. I was born and raised
Oh wow,
in New York,
Florida.
but I've
Okay.
been in Florida for 15 years now. Yeah, 15 years. The last 15 years.
Well, what part of Florida? I've been there.
So
So.
I'm in between Daytona and Orlando. So I'm like smack dab in the middle
Oh,
between
nice,
those
cool.
two.
Oh, the happening area.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But yeah, I've been here 15 years now. So it's pretty cool, I sometimes do miss New York winters. I was up there like 7 years ago. I went back up there because my brothers are still up there. So I get to see them once in a while. And
Cool.
but yeah, I mean, I grew up watching, and then I went to college. I watched a lot of Japanese films too. I used to go to the Asian Film Festival up in New York, so I saw stuff like
Oh, nice.
yeah, like
Okay, you
ping
gotta be my
pong.
advocator
Yeah,
then.
so watch ping
You gotta
pong.
come in. Oh, you know what? Can we use this podcast like a clips of it on my WeFunder site?
Oh, definitely,
Awesome.
sure, for sure,
Awesome.
definitely.
Oh, cross promote, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, of course. Yeah,
Sweet.
but also, I don't know if you knew this, but Star Wars, George Lucas admitted he actually used a Kurosawa film to was it as
Oh, I know. It's so cool, right?
like the Hidden Fortress, and I'm like, really? And I remember the two samurai are R2D2 and C3PO, and I'm like,
Yeah.
my mouth literally dropped when I read that. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
I tell you, Star Wars is deep. It's like I learned so much from that movie. Maybe more than my parents. Don't tell them I said that, but
That's
you
awesome.
know,
But,
it is.
so I know, and are you going to use the same type of dog as Indy in the feature film as you did in the short film? Or are you going to go with something different?
I don't know. I can't wait to cast dogs, but that comes probably after our film gets green light. Because we don't want to like have dogs sort of like on call, so to speak.
Mhm.
So like we need a green light, then we cast dogs. And so I don't know, availability. It's like, nah, I sound like a business person, right? It's availability and the price. But like, I don't know. I want to use a mutt, hopefully like a rescue dog. I would love to cast rescue dogs. And to my surprise, like a lot of animal actor agencies have rescue dogs as dog actors. So I think I'm covered for that, but like I wish like we had like a big budget to cast a dog out of a pound, shelter,
Yeah.
rescue one and train it and give a better life. But hey, maybe next film, but not this one. But
Yeah,
like
that
I just want to advocate, like people need to adopt more instead of like of spending tons of money to buy a dog.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean they got I like movies with dogs in them. Like there was that Dog's Purpose, A Dog's Journey, I like those type of movies.
I'm
Yeah,
such a sucker for
this
that.
yeah, this kind of feels like that, but except I like the fact that the dog becomes a human and gets to learn about what love really is. And
Yeah.
as you mentioned, don't judge the book by its cover. Like, Indy will get to learn that. And I like the fact that she said Indy's based on Indiana Jones, and that's and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm guessing
That's also true, like based on my
I was
story.
gonna say that's based on what you that's
A lot of stuff is based on my story.
so kind of in a way, this is like a semi-autobiographical film in a way. If you
In a way, I say so because Indy gets like Indy's kind of needy, right, at the
yeah,
beginning, and he gets like really upset when he feels like Kimmy's seemingly going away. She really isn't, but like he feels like he's abandoned.
yeah.
That's me growing up. Like I was a latchkey kid, and my parents were like not home all the time.
Oh
Like
wow.
often, yeah, I was, well, I mean, I had like a neighbor to look after me, but like they were working all the time, and I was all by myself, and I was only child back then. And like I was like so needy.
Wow. Yeah.
I
So basically, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like you actually took you took elements from your own life and
Yeah.
put it into the whole story. I mean, not
I
just
mean,
with
it's
one
it's
character.
a funny film, but like when you dig deeper, all kinds of stuff comes out, like abandonment issue, and like being attracted to like wrong people, not feeling like being accepted, loving yourself.
Mhm.
It's like all based on how I've felt like growing up. Well, actually, like into my 20s and 30s, I think it's like a ongoing thing, right? For like a lot of people. A lot of people don't even realize what they're dealing with, like in what they are, anxious about or upset about. It's like it's all here, like growing up,
Yeah.
when you have some trauma, not even a trauma. We don't feel like it was trauma, but like me growing up as a latchkey kid, I guess traumatized me in a way. So, I could have just like left it there and just feeling all insecure for the rest of my life. But, you know, I read books, I watched Star Wars. I kind of dug deep, and I learned a thing or two about myself. And it took me a while, but like I became kind of like indie at the end. I became okay with myself. I was content with myself, and like I kind of went back to my roots in a way inside. So I'm all right. I
Yeah.
got things I need, and I'm content. So
Yeah.
that's another message,
Yeah,
kind of hidden
exactly.
message.
You find yourself in a good place, and that's where you are right now.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's how Indy was in the end. He
Yeah,
found a good place in the world.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you see him, he's actually like warmed up to Craig at the end once they see him. We see actually a short little thing where Indy's actually he warmed up to Craig. He actually gave Craig a lick on, on the face, and then
Yeah,
And then
that's right.
then he's like, I'm okay. All right, this is okay now. I'm
I'm
okay.
so happy, Albert, that you got all that stuff and enjoyed my film. And I can't wait to make this feature film, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good one. I can't wait to check it out once it's ready. I mean, I'll definitely be online to check that one out when the feature
I
film comes out.
appreciate that.
So, or is there any other after if once you get this off the ground, or is there any other projects in development that you're thinking about as you're getting this one ready, or are you just focusing
Yeah, I
on this?
mean, I try to focus on this thing, but like I got like a few things percolating, and I mean it's like I gotta get this off the ground so like I can get more of a money pipeline kind of
Yeah.
straighten out. It's so hard, Albert. I'm sure like but I've been in this industry for like a 20 something years, but people want to see a feature. It doesn't matter how much experience you have, like, how knowledgeable you are, or like, working on the set. They don't care. They need to see the feature. I understand that.
Hmm.
So like, and I'm like, I'm gonna give it to you guys. Let me, but like, help us out. Let me make this feature and prove that I can do 10 more good stuff. We can like give the world like a great entertainment. But this needs to happen before I move on to the next thing. I have so many things like I want to do. Like I have this like a book, the novel, like a Japanese novel. It's pretty popular in Japan already. A lot of following online. This is like electronic, nowadays like it's
Oh yeah.
electronic. Yeah, and it's sort of like a Pokemon, but it's a little hardcore because it's something about do you know yokai? It's
Yes.
sort of like,
Yes.
yeah, like a spirit creatures.
Yes. I
You
used
know,
to,
it's a
I've watched Yokai Watch.
oh
I
my
never
god.
saw
Okay, we need to talk about this too later on the record. But yeah, so like I want to like develop the book into a film.
Yeah.
But that's like something that I will be working on. Like once this like a campaign's done, this like refunder campaigns like a 24/7. It's just nuts, and I can get all the help. I can you can provide me, or like anybody can provide me.
Yeah.
It's like a full-time job.
Well, we're definitely gonna have the link in the description for the We Funder so people can check out the site and donate to them get this movie made because I think once they see the story and everything, I think they're gonna want to get into it and they're gonna see, oh, you know what? This filmmaker has ambition, she's got a passion, and we want to bring that to life. So let's do it. So I will have this in the descriptions for people to check out.
I
And
appreciate that.
in the meantime, the short film is hilarious. And is there anywhere where people can see the short film in case they want to check it out, like they want to see the proof of concept? Is there any?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it's on sale. I mean, it's for sale like through iTunes and among other platforms that you can find. But like, for listeners only, your fans only, if they can like, contact you or contact me, I'll give them a link
Okay.
and I'll be happy to provide them a link. So, let me know, let Albert know, just like
Yeah. Well, I'll help out. So yeah. So
awesome.
you guys listen or watch this. You're gonna, if you want to see the short film, I'll shoot, you'll know my email. I'll send you my email. I'll put my email in the description. You guys can contact me and I'll help Akemi send you a link as well so you guys can check out the short film and see whether you want the feature film to come to life. Because I sure do. I'm definitely gonna support this one.
Thank you so much, Albert. Thanks for having me today.
No problem. Well, Akemi, it's been great talking to you and nice meeting you.
Same here.
And we definitely will keep in touch, for sure,
Absolutely.
and talk more about films and all that. And
It's too bad you're so far away. If you were in Los Angeles, we could go grab a beer.
definitely, oh yeah, I'd be all for that. I'm gonna have to make a trip out there soon.
Hell yeah.
I hope y'all, well, you take care and I hope you have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.